So we saw how to convert measurements, we saw how to find surface area, so now we're actually going to talk about volume. So the volume of any prism is the area of the base, which is big B, times the height of the prism. So therefore volume equals big B times H. So you can use that formula for any prism. However, there's more formulas that are more detailed that you can use as well. So V equals big B times H works for any prism, and then we're going to modify it. So if I'm looking at this one, this is a volume of a rectangular prism. So volume equals big B times H. So if I look at big B, that means the area of the base. Well, if I look at the base, I know that the area of it is just the length times the width because it's a rectangle. So therefore I replace big B with L times W, making the volume L times W times H. So again, you can use V equals big B times H, or you can use the more modified version of V equals length times width times height. Same thing for a triangular prism. So we can use the big B times H. The area of the base is just an area of the triangle though. So if I look here, area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So we're talking about the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle, and then we're multiplying by the height of the prism. So that's one formula we can use as well. Now for a cube, remember that the length, the width, and the height are all equal to each other. So instead of using big B times H, we can just use S cubed for side times side times side. So those are three formulas you have to memorize. So let's try a couple examples together. In the first example, it says find the surface area and volume of the rectangular prism below. So I'm going to give you a minute. I'm going to do it here. Surface area was yesterday's lesson, so try it right now. So remember, you have to use that surface area formula that we learned yesterday. So your surface area of this rectangular prism is 280 meters squared. So since this is a rectangular prism, we're going to find volume now. So the volume, remember, you can either use big B times H, or you can use length times width times height. So I'm going to use length times width times height. So the length of this is 9, the width is 4, and the height is 8. So all I have to do in my calculator is do 9 times 4 times 8. And I get 288 meters cubed. So volume is cubed, surface area is squared. So that's my complete answer. Let's try another one. So it says if the volume of the figure below is 327.09 inches cubed, find the height of the prism. So since this is a rectangular prism, remember your formula is V equals L times W times H. This time it gives you the volume, so that's going to go in for V there. So it's going to be 327.08 equals, now we have to look at our rectangular prism. So any horizontal line, that is your length. The vertical line is your height. And then that slant line is your width. So I have a length and a width, and then I'm going to search for height. So my length is 8.5, my width is 3.7, and then I'm going to leave H because I have to find H. So what I'm going to do is on my right side, I'm going to multiply 8.5 by 3.7. When I do that in my calculator, I get 31.45 times H. Now to get H alone, what you have to do is you have to divide by 31.45. So I divide both sides by 31.45. And my answer is going to be 10.4 inches as my height. So that's one example where instead they give you volume, and you're going to have to side for side length. So this one we solved for height. Let's try another one. So A triangle prism has isosceles triangles for base with sides measuring 7 centimeters, 7 centimeters, and 9 centimeters. The height of the prism is 13 centimeters and the volume is 330.93 centimeters cubed. Find the height of the base triangle. So if I wanted to draw this, I know there's two triangles here. It's a triangular prism. So one way to draw this is here's the first base. Then you can draw another triangle, or even better, you can copy and paste it. And all you have to do is you have to connect this line and this line. So there's my triangular prism. I'm going to do a dotted line to show that it's hidden. So it's saying that the sides of this prism are 7, 7, and then 9. So it's isosceles. So this side is equal to this side. Then it says the height of the prism is 13. And what you're trying to find is you're trying to find the height of this triangle. So that's going to be my height of my triangle. So looking at the first page now, your volume for a triangular prism was 1/2 base of your triangle times the height of your triangle times the height of the prism. So here they give us a little bit of extra information. 9 is going to be your base of your triangle, so that's the bottom side of your triangle. 13 is the height of the prism, and then we're looking for the height of the triangle. So we actually don't use 7 at all. So it gives us the volume of 330.93. Take a half, and it's going to be 9 times the height of the triangle times 13. So when I multiply everything together on my right hand side, I get 58.5 times h triangle, and then I divide both sides by 58.5 and I end up with 566 centimeters, and that's the height of my triangle. So for practice, what I want you to do is I want you to do the next 3 examples. So I'll pause the video and then I'm going to show you the answers. So before you try doing the homework, you know your answers. And then on the homework, the first problem, it says 48 feet squared. So just change that to 48 inches squared instead. So pause the video now, try the next 4, or try the next 3 examples, then view your answers, and then go on to the homework. And finally, like I said, in your practice, make sure you change that to 48 inches squared, not feet.